guys. So, as you can tell, I am home. I was editing the vlog and realized that the last clip you saw was me going from Delhi to Frankfurt. So I was sort of sick in Agra, but it really got bad on that flight. And so when I got to Frankfurt, I passed out for like 13 hours. I locked my stuff to a bench and I went to bed and I was so sick. And then I boarded Frankfurt to Chicago, slept the entire flight again, just feeling absolutely awful. And then when I got home, I was able to get in the doctor, find out that, I did catch something over there. We were treating it with antibiotics. Antibiotics didn't work, so then we had to add prednisone to it, and now I'm finally starting to feel like myself again. So that is kind of how it went. Everything went smoothly getting home. When I was actually in Chicago and I was going through customs, the border security guy was like, "So what were you doing in India?" And myself being sick and not thinking, I was like, "Oh, I was traveling." And he's like, "What kind of travel though?" And I was like, "Just tourist." And he was making fun of me because I answered stupidly. So everything went smooth though. Got back into the US smooth. My mom picked me up from the airport and I spent the next several days in bed. So thanks for watching the vlogs. This is my last India vlog, which is so sad, but I think I'm gonna try and talk my boyfriend and family into vlogging stateside, which I've never done. I only vlog when I'm abroad, so we'll see if I can talk them into that. If I do, then you guys will see me. If not, I'll see you on my next adventure next year. And so I thought I would make you guys a video, even though I'm slacking on getting my India vlogs up because I ran out of storage on my computer. So this is being filmed on my phone, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can figure out how to get more storage on my computer or get things off of it. I bought a flash drive last night to see if I could get my vlogs off the computer and onto the flash drive to save some room, and I ran out of room on the flash drive. So technology is not my friend. But today I want to talk about Taj Mahal. If you're a solo female traveler or a solo traveler in general, this is the video for you, because I'm going to talk about what I learned that no other vlogs talked about, and my tips as a solo person on how to get the perfect pictures, how to make sure you're still learning about what's happening, and making sure you don't miss anything, because going to the Taj Mahal is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So some basic facts about the Taj itself is it's open every day except Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. It is 20 USD or 1,100 rupees for a foreigner. It is cheaper if you're an Indian local. I would suggest, if you're just there to see the Taj Mahal because you're in India, you just want to get pretty pictures, you're not a history buff, you don't need more than an hour there. If you want to learn about the king and the queen and their history and how they built the Taj and how they brought all the marble in and all the facts about it, I would plan to spend about 3 hours there. But if you're not into all that, which I wasn't, you don't need more than an hour. I spent just under 2 hours there, but I was taking thousands of pictures. So if I would have just got my few pictures I wanted, gone in, seen it, that was it, I would have been in and out in an hour. So I made a list of 7 key tips that will make your experience at the Taj Mahal 10 times better as a solo female traveler or solo traveler. So number 1, arrive to the ticket booth early. I left my hostel at 5 a.m. and walked about 10 minutes to the main road, where I got stuck by some bulls who didn't want to move out of the way for me, and I didn't want to piss them off, and so I wasn't sure what to do, so I kind of just had to hang out till they moved. So I'll insert a clip of that right now. So I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but the opening to my road is blocked by cows. Like cows with horns, like bulls. So that's fun.
I don't know how to go around them. I don't want to make them mad.
And so once the bulls moved and I was able to get around them, I bought a tuk-tuk for 50 rupees from my hostel to the Taj, and he dropped me off at the east gate. And so I did not specify to him which gate I wanted to go. It didn't really matter to me. And so I was the second person in line at the ticket booth. Ended up being the first person in line to get into the Taj Mahal because the family that was there before me was a family of like 5, so it took them longer to get their tickets. So I was the very first person in line at about 5:20 to get into the Taj. And so tip number 2 is know what you can bring in, because you have to go through metal detectors and you have to go through security. And so you're not going to be able to get in before the crowds if you are dealing with security and they're confiscating your stuff and you have to pay to put your bag up. Like, it's a hassle. The only thing I brought to the Taj Mahal was my phone, which has a little pocket on the back that I keep money in, and my ID, because you need your photo ID to get into the Taj Mahal. And that was it. So I didn't carry anything. I did not bring a bag. I did not want any extra hassles. So just my phone. It's the only thing I carried. Number 3, if you are a solo traveler, get a guide. It doesn't have to be a legit guide. It could be a sketchy guide. I don't really care what kind of guide, but have somebody with you, because that's who's going to take your pictures for you. It's very hard to constantly be relying on other people who want the same good pictures there to take it for you, because I feel like I saw them getting kind of snippy when somebody would ask. Like, they want to move on, they want to get the same good pictures, so they don't want to spend time taking pictures for you. So I ended up paying a guy. At first, he had walked up to me and he was like, guide, and I was like, no, I don't need a guide, I don't care about the story. And he was like, no, free with your ticket, which is not true. He was like, free with your ticket, and I'm like, free? Because I'm not paying you. And he was like, yes, free, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, just tip. And I'm like, see, that's where it comes in. There's not a free guide with your ticket. That's not true. And so there's also government guides and non-government guides. So government guide has gone through the classes, been certified to be a Taj Mahal guide, and they wear a lanyard that is very visible the entire time that says government guide. The non-government guides, which are just locals trying to make an extra buck, usually have lanyards on too, but they hide their actual picture and their lanyard doesn't say government guide. Or they'll say, I have my government ID in my pocket. No, you don't. You're just lying. And so they didn't go to school. But, which is actually the one I got, because 1, it's going to be cheaper. 2, I just need him to take pictures for me. I didn't really care if what he was telling me was the correct thing. I didn't care about the actual guide part of it. I just wanted somebody to take my pictures. If you are not solo, do not pay for a guide. You do not need one. The Taj Mahal is very self-explanatory. There's an app on your phone that is an audio, kind of like a book, like an audio version of the story that you can get. A guide is not worth it if you have someone to take your pictures for you. I did not. I was solo in India my entire time, and so I paid him to take my pictures, and he did a fantastic job. He posed me the entire time. He would make sure my hair was perfect. He'd constantly be coming up and like getting all these little flyaways and making sure it was perfect. He claims he'd been working there for 22 years, and I believe it because he did know all the great spots. My throat's starting to hurt because I'm still kind of sick. So, solo, pay somebody. Not solo, don't pay somebody. Number 4, wear bright colors. The Taj Mahal is all white, so if you wear a gray or a white or a black, you're just gonna blend in with it. I ended up, so Friday when I was at Metab Bow, I wore a bright teal kurta that looked really, really good with the marble. And then the day I was at the Taj Mahal, I wore a bright yellow kurta, and both of them look gorgeous in the pictures because it's a contrast. It plays off the Taj very well. So if you have anything bright, even if it's just a bright scarf you wear something bright because the contrast looks really, really good off the marble. Number 5, the east side of the Taj Mahal. If you want pictures that are just very pretty lighting, you want the sunrise or the sunset, you want those gorgeous rainbow in your pictures, you need to be on the east side. The east side is where all the good lighting is. Now, if you want the pictures of being framed in the doorways, or you want the pictures where you're not really looking at us, we're like taking pictures from behind, and they're just gorgeous framing and doorways, you need to be on the west side. The west side is where the mosque is, and that has all the very pretty framing opportunities. The east side is where the guest house is, and it's inhabited by monkeys now, and that's where all the really pretty lighting comes in. But on the west side is where all the framing is, and with the lighting coming in from the east, the west side is just gorgeous for framing pictures. And so throughout this vlog, I'll insert pictures that I took. So right now I'll put in a picture from the east side. And then now I'll put in a picture of the west side and all the framing of the doorways that were super pretty. So, tip number 7. The last one I did 5 and 6. East was 5, 6 was west. Tip number 7 is be patient. Everybody wants the exact same pictures. I was the very first person in there, but I was being stopped along the way because my guide was taking pictures of me. So by the time that we got to the 350-foot pond, I was like the 3rd person in line. Everybody wanted to take pictures when you don't have any people behind you. Just be patient. There were times even when I was framing in a doorway and people were walking by, just hang out for a minute, wait for them to walk by, and then you get that beautiful picture with nobody in the background. I would say about 80 to 90% of my pictures, there's no people in them because I went so early. But if you choose to go later in the day, or that's just how your tour works, you're not in Agra for a long time, you can still get very pretty pictures with people around. It's all really just about framing your picture and standing very creatively. Be creative. I looked at Pinterest a ton before I went, saw what other people were taking, found poses I liked, poses I didn't like, and so I ended up getting pictures that I absolutely love. If you choose to go in rainy season like me, the rain doesn't ruin the experience. It poured the entire time I was at the Taj Mahal. If you notice in some of my pictures, I'm absolutely drenched. But it doesn't ruin the experience at all. I had a fantastic time. I feel like I got to do anything anybody else would have done the rest of the year. My pictures are just as pretty. There were less people there. I mean, everything went as perfect as it could have for me, even though it was pouring rain. And so, if you're going to be in India, I absolutely say you go out of your way to make a trip to Agra. There's lots to do. Every single person I talked to in every vlog I looked up, they said you don't need more than 1 day in Agra. That's a lie. I had 4 days there and I could have done another 4. There's so much to do. Between the tombs and the big Taj and the baby Taj and the Red Fort, there's so much to do. You can spend an entire day at Metabo, which is across the river, looking at the Taj from the back. You can spend the morning at the Taj, the afternoon at the fort. You can spend another day at the other sites. I mean, if you go to, just Google things to do in Agra and look at the actual Indian tourist website, there's a list of all the monuments that are there and their prices. And if you do only have 1 day there, but you want to do everything, once you could do the Taj Mahal in the morning, that ticket gets you a discount on everything else you do the rest of the day. So I chose to break mine up, do different things on different days because I had the time. But you definitely could, if you're rushing and want to do a whole lot in one day, see at least 4 of the monuments in one day. You definitely won't get through everything, but you could see at least 4 of them. So I had 4 days there. It was fantastic. I will recommend to anybody going to India, stop in Agra. It's wonderful. If you struggle with the food in India, like I did, and how spicy it is, because I'm from America, where I've learned we are very bland people, Agra has lots of American options. They have lots of American cafes. They have McDonald's, KFC. Agra is touristy in that aspect, but also not. I had a very hard time finding souvenirs. I had a very hard time finding things to bring back for my family. At Metabo, I ended up getting a snow globe of the Taj Mahal, and I have a snow globe collection, so that was great. But like, I couldn't find anything to bring home to my family. After the Taj Mahal, because my guide was not government and he was technically a sketchy guide, he brought me to his friend's marble shop. And if you were anybody else, don't buy anything from them. However, it was my last day in India. I had 0 souvenirs for any of my family or friends, so I ended up buying small marble elephants and brought those home for my family. But if I had had any other options, I would not have done that. So it just happened to be my last day. I had nothing. I had a bunch of rupees to get rid of, which you guys will see in the vlog of me shopping and trying to get rid of rupees before I left because I was going to lose them on the conversion. So I ended up doing it. I wouldn't recommend it though if you have any other options. I could have got them for way cheaper. He was trying to rip me off. I didn't like that the guide took me there just because they're friends. Like, the whole situation was kind of sketchy, but it was my last day and that it worked for me. And it can work for you if you want that option. I just wouldn't recommend it because I don't know that that's legit marble. I don't know that these are imported from somewhere else, but we're gonna keep that a secret from my family. Like, I can't promise you that, like, those are quality souvenirs if you want quality stuff from India. But Agra doesn't have a whole lot of souvenir shops. They don't have any big markets. I went to I don't remember how to say it now, Sadar Bazaar and the bazaar that starts with a K. Neither of them had souvenir stuff. It was just normal stuff you would buy. And so because I had such a hard time finding souvenirs and I waited so long, I just did it at the Taj. But if you have more time and you have other options, look at other stuff. So as I sniff, that is my tips for visiting the Taj Mahal. I'm super thankful I was able to go to India, super thankful I was able to spend multiple days looking at the Taj Mahal. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. But that is that. Hope everybody has a great day. And you'll see me in the next video.